What's up, YouTube fans? Atlanta Analyst here, back in another video. And today, I am going to give my predictions based off of uh, like I'm going to give my predictions on the NBA Eastern Conference standings. This is based off of a realistic evaluation of which teams improved, which teams are better than some teams, and which teams will just have that team's number throughout the year based on matchups. Okay, and then this is I'm going to project the standings and also the records of these teams. Now, let's move forward. So, this is the Eastern Conference. So, let's start off with who I believe will be the number one seed based off of their additions and their health. I believe that the Milwaukee Bucks will be the number one seed. I think that they are just a team that plays. They just hurt you. You got Middleton that can hurt you. And especially when they get a 3-point streak, it's game over. You have Middleton that can hurt you. You got Giannis that can hurt you. You got Drew, Brooke Lopez who can space it. You got Bobby Portis, Grayson Allen, and then you got Pat Connaughton, and then Wes Matthews. You've got a healthy, and then you have a Joe Ingles. So this team, George Hill. So I'm telling you, this team, they're a championship team for a reason. I mean, I'm looking at the roster now, and I forgot about Serge Ibaka, Javon Carter, and then the kid they drafted, Marjon Beauchamp. I think that he's going to be a really good player for them. So, him, listen, guys, this Milwaukee team, they are going to be the real deal, and quite frankly, I am excited to see the Milwaukee team. Even though I'm a Hawks fan, I'm excited to see how this Milwaukee team plays out, because trust me, they got better, in my opinion. Moving on to who I think is going to come right in at the 2 seed. This team lost no players. Added 2 really good players, in my opinion. The Boston Celtics, 2 seed. Oh, by the way, Milwaukee Bucks, 54-28 this season. I think that's going to be their record. The Boston Celtics are going to come in at 2 seed. They went to the finals. Now, frankly, do they beat the Bucks if the Bucks have Middleton? No. Do they beat Milwaukee if Lowry's healthy throughout the series? Possibly. I think that if you now add Danilo Gallinari, former Hawk, and Malcolm Brogdon to that squad, okay, now you're looking at a really good team that can a really good team that is going to really be competitive in the Eastern Conference, and I think that they will be. So I have them same record. Just Milwaukee winning the tiebreaker in the regular season, 54-28 for them. The 3 seed. This was hard to do because it's not that I don't like the franchise. It's just that the franchise is a franchise that you got mixed emotions about. The Philadelphia 76ers, I have them coming in at 3. Why? Why do I have them over Miami, Brooklyn, Atlanta? Because Philadelphia, they're a really good regular season team. But a full offseason of James, looking at how James is getting a lot healthier, slimmer, and then looking at them adding some depth. The biggest issue with the Philadelphia 76ers last season was them having to trade away their depth. They traded away one of the best backup bigs in basketball, and Andre Drummond. They traded away a shooter and Seth Curry, and they got rid of size and Ben. But the depth, they have to depend on Shake Milton and Furkan Korkmaz. Not great players. But now I'm looking at their team, and I'm saying, okay, they have depth now. They have quality depth. They traded for DeAnthony Melton. I think him within himself, like when they made that trade on draft night, I was like, oh my goodness, Philadelphia got better. DeAnthony Melton. Then you add PJ Tucker. Those are two tough guys. Two guys who can bring toughness and do all the little things. PJ Tucker's tough. Daniel House. Now, House is more one of the smaller moves, but I think that it adds depth. I do think that it adds depth. I think that when you look at a team like Philadelphia, who has a really good starting five, but just needs production off the bench. Now you're looking at a bench of DeAnthony Melton, Shake Milton. You have Thibault, Korkmaz, House, Niang. The only thing, in my opinion, that they're missing is a backup big. If they get a backup big, I think that they will be set. So Philadelphia at 52-30, I do think that they are going to come in at 3. With the same record at 52-30, coming in at 4 is my Atlanta Hawks. Listen, guys, I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to win the division this year. Why? They got better. Other teams did. That's just simple. But I think when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, the current construction, last year they won 43 games. I think they're going to win at least an additional 9. First of all, a lot of the games they lost last year, they shouldn't have. They lost to a lot of teams where they shouldn't have because they did not take it seriously. And I believe with Murray and his aggressiveness and the veteran presence that we now have with Justin Holiday, Mo Harkless, Aaron Holiday, we added Frank Kaminsky. We drafted A.J. Griffin. We got a little wing depth there. And then bringing in Trent Forrest, who I think people are underrating that signing. Because push comes to shove, if someone goes down in the point guard category and we need to point at Trent, I have a lot of confidence that Trent Forrest can go out, maybe not put up 20 points, maybe he will, but I don't know, but maybe not put up 20 points. A lot of confidence that he will get out there and he will do all the little things. Same thing with Aaron Holiday. Aaron Holiday was the third point guard in Phoenix, behind Chris Paul and Cameron Payne. Even Elfrid Payton was getting minutes before him. So I think when you put him, sorry for moving the mic, I think if you put him in a backup role, listen, I think he's 25 years old, playing for a contract. I think that he can do really well in that backup guard role. Justin Holiday, same thing. Justin Holiday is one of those guys that just hurts you. Great catch and shoot player, big long defender. But I think when you take into consideration, you still have Bogey, who's going to be a really big piece, with Murray, with John, with Trey, with DeAndre Onyeka, who we've seen, guys, is shooting from 3-point range. We'll see. We will see. Listen, I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to be a 4-seed tie with the Philadelphia 76ers for 3 and 4. But I do think that, throughout the regular season, the Hawks, Philadelphia will have a little bit more tiebreakers, with a little bit more advantage over the Hawks. But that doesn't mean that the Hawks still can't advance in the playoffs. Thing. This gives the Hawks the best chance to be successful. You get home court advantage. But ultimately, Hawks got better. No one can deny it. If you deny it, then you don't know basketball. Moving on to number 5. Now, it was a tussle. But you got to give respect to where respect is due. I think at number 5, I got to go with the Miami Heat. Now, the reason why Miami Heat's not in the top 3, top 2, top 4, they did not get better. I hate to say it. They did not get better. I think bringing back Oladipo was good. Bringing back Dwayne Dedmon was okay. Unless he's a big presence server in the locker room, unless he's like leading the locker room, which I doubt because they have a lot of locker room leaders. Udonis has some Kyle Lowry, and then you get the coach himself. So, but unless he's a big part in that, I don't see a reason why you should have brought him back, because I would have threw in Omer Yurtseven at the backup big position. One of the biggest things that Miami failed to do so far, the offseason is not over. It's not at training camp yet. One of the things that Miami failed to do was add forward depth. We saw the rumors about KD, Donovan, then the rumors shifted to John Collins. And from reports and sources that I talked to, the Hawks weren't even willing to talk to Miami unless Tyler Hero and Nikola Jovic was going to be involved along with multiple first-round picks, and Miami wasn't willing to do that. That's why John Collins' rumors have simmered and have eased off. So, what do they need to do now? Honestly, I would just go out and I would just say, you know what? Let's kind of run this. You lost PJ Tucker, which I think was a big loss. I don't think many people realize how much of a loss that was. That was a big loss. Now you don't have the guy out there doing all the little things. Now you don't have the guy out there that you can put on the best player. That's not a big impact offensively. So what I mean by that is you're not going to put Jimmy Butler on the best player and he's still having to carry the load offensively. So that's what I mean. You lost that guy. You're expecting Jovic to fill in that position. I don't think that that's fair, nor is that going to work. So Miami at 5. I could have put in the team that I have at 6. Miami, a 49-33 record, 16 games of 500, pretty successful regular season, just coming in the playoffs at 5. I'm gonna try to speed this up so my video will not cut off on me. Number 6, I had the Toronto Raptors at 48-34. I think that they got better. They could very well easily slide in at 5 over Miami, but I do think that, Miami is Miami with Jimmy Butler, Bam, and Kyle Lowry and Hero and stuff. So I do think that they deserve the 5 over the 6, but Toronto is a very tough team. They are always a shocker team in the regular season where it's like, my God, how are you winning these games? Moving on to number 7. Now, this is with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets are coming in at 7. Now, I do think that they are going to come in at 48-34. But I think that the chemistry is going to be off. I think there's going to be injuries there. So I do think that the Brooklyn Nets are going to be in playoff contention. But I just don't think that with all the drama, all the friction that's going on, and some of the injuries that will happen, I think that will find them around 7. Now, this is a loaded Eastern Conference, so by any means, I don't think any of these teams are going to have terrible seasons from even 1 through 8. I don't think that any of these is a loaded conference. So that doesn't mean that if a team is in that 8 or 9, that this team is just taking a step back. I think that the team actually have an 8 got way better this offseason, but they're just not better than the teams above them. Chicago Bulls at 8. Now, I think that Chicago will ultimately make the playoffs in the play-in tournament. But I do have them sitting at 45-37. Now, they got better. But the conference got better. And I think if you look at a lot of the games that they won, they won the series over Atlanta. I don't think that's happening this season. They had slight advantages over a lot of different teams. These teams got better. So I'm not going to say that Chicago's going to win a lot of those regular season series. So that's why I'm saying, hey, I think that they got better, but they did not get better than other teams that they beat last season. They added Drummond, they added Dragic, they drafted Dalen Terry, who I think is really going to help them. Number 9, I had the Cleveland Cavaliers. This was really hard to put the Cavs at 9 because I think they got better. They added depth, and they drafted a kid that I really like at 14, Ochai Agbaji. I think that the Cavs are going to come in at 44-39, better than they did last season. But I do think that ultimately they will be the 9 seed again. They were the 8 seed last year. I do think that they're going to be the 9 seed where they will be in the play-in tournament, maybe make the playoffs. At 10, I got the Washington Wizards with Beal. Listen, I think they got better, but they're not they're definitely not top 8, and they're not better than Cleveland. Cleveland has chemistry and they have a core. Now the Wizards, I think they got better too. Then adding DeLon Wright, Monte Morris, Will Barton. We'll get a chance to see Bill and Porzingis, how that meshes. They added Johnny Davis, they added Taj Gibson. So I think they added a lot of good pieces. A lot of good pieces for them to be relevant in the Eastern Conference, with a record of 41-41. I think they added enough to be relevant. I think they added enough to be competitive in that play-in spot, just not quite there to where you got drastically better. Okay, and then the bottom teams. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I really do not want the video to cut out on me. But the bottom teams, Knicks. I think that the Knicks got better. I was debating between the Knicks and the Wizards to go in at 10, but I do think that the Wizards are a better team than the New York Knicks. New York Knicks. It looks like to me they're not going to get Mitchell. They're going to stick with their young guys along with Brunson and Randall and RJ. Fine. I just think they'll be 40-42. I think they'll be better. That's better than they did last season. Hornets at 12. Pistons at 13. Pacers at 14. Magic at 15. that is going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about my Eastern Conference standings, ranking, predictions. I know it's a little early because the offseason is not done yet, but let me know what you guys think about that. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.